Okay, there's been a little bit of drama going on. This is a subject I tend to steer clear of. The transgender stuff. Posie Parker, pretty notorious sort of anti-trans activist. She got into Australia, and then there's a bit of a drama. The neo-Nazis turned up in front of the Victorian Parliament. There was a big drama over that, and even more, she was attacked. Someone threw tomato soup or passata, possibly, some sort of crushed soft liquid tomato substance, and there's been a bit of a drama. But I don't know. I don't know about this Posey Parker lady. She seems to hang out with some odd people, and people who aren't really feminists. So she can't really be called 100% feminist. I don't know what to make of a lot of these people. Her fans are quite a little bit aggressive. There's one lady, she made soap for a living, and she had a disagreement with the Posey Park crew, and they were leaving bad reviews and trying to have a run out of the soap making business. Probably boutique soaps, probably a bit of a hard little situation there with boutique soaps. Could be a hard way to make a living. I don't know about the woman's finances. I don't know the woman really. She's a gender critical one who is mildly critical of the Posey Parker a lot, and they got very, very nasty. Very, very nasty. And Graham Linehan, the writer, famous writer, Father Ted, a lot of other shows, one of the most famous writers probably in the world in the late 90s, mid 90s, mid 2000s. Very famous Irish writer, TV writer, comedy writer. He's gone crazy for turfism, trans exclusionary radical feminism, or gender critical. Call them GCs. They prefer GCs. So, okay, he's gone full in. He's gone crazy over it. He's tweeting and substacking and just going completely berserk over transgender stuff. 24/7, 365. He's turned into AC Grayling. AC Grayling, Anthony Grayling, lost his mind over Brexit. So he was always sort of more of the new atheist crew. Anthony, he was probably the more sensible of the Four Horsemen of the apocalypse. But he lost his mind over Brexit. He just completely went bananas. He's tweeting about 100 times a day about it. He lost his mind. So Graham Linehan's lost his mind in the same way. He's just completely obsessed with the transgender stuff. It's a crusade for him. Um, it's all very strange, and he's very much for Posey Parker, her faction of the GCs. They're a bit aggressive. I don't know. I don't know about any of these people. The Antifa people, the transgender crazies want to be in women's toilets, men in women's sports. There he goes, Muslims going off to deal his drugs. If you can hear that in the background, that's you put up with that all the time. He's like a teenager, that bloke across the road, just repulsive. I don't know who brought these people here. Anyway, I don't know. There's no real good sides in this thing. There's the crazed sort of male to female transgender, so-called women, apostrophes. They're put in women's sport. That's crazy. I was going to write about this, but I might just discuss it here. I went to a GWS and Brisbane game, 2018 it was, I think, and not a great game. The Giants had a really good team that year, and it was their little patch. Um, and Brisbane weren't going very well. And the GWS guys were just absolutely, they were literally giants in more ways than one. They're absolutely huge. The Brisbane guys, a bit younger, and not a very good team. They looked like boys next to them, looked like teenage boys next to men there. That was an AFL team, the Brisbane Lions, and they've come good after that, but don't follow that anymore. But the point is, it's absolutely huge. The Giants, largest people I've ever seen. Absolutely just monsters of people. You can see them when you go to the Giants Stadium, or whatever they call it now, at Homebush, the old Sydney Olympic place, the showgrounds there. The little stadium, it's a really good place to watch football and sport from. Little place, 24,000 capacity. And you sit right on, you get a really good view. You sit right on top of the play. Um, Not like the massive stadiums where you can't see anything. You get a really good view of everything. And the Giants, absolutely gigantic. And it's just crazy. That's what I keep thinking of. Putting grown men, biological men, giving them a few hormones, female hormones, and putting them in women's sports, crazy. It's just completely mental. And biological men in women's toilets, domestic violence services, changing rooms, all they're just absolutely crazy. This is a nutty agenda. It's crazy. And it's like the drag queens. That's a bit of a mixed issue too, because there's different types. I've discussed that before. But the transgender stuff, the men, they can't. It's not nutty. It's lunacy, and I don't know why the Antifa people supported it. I don't know what their go is. Neo Nazis might have been there just to cause trouble. Go back to Posie Parker. The neo Nazis might have been just there to cause trouble. There are hints. They put out a thing. They don't like her much. Lesbian, they called her, and atheist, and lesbian, atheist, sort of anti-family. So that might have been the fundamentalist Catholics, I think. Not much of a difference. A very fascistic Catholic Church. That's basically their political wing, fascism. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. There's sort of no really good sides. You don't know about the fundamentalists and the Christian Lives Matter crazy people, the transgender fanatics and the Antifa, the lockdown lunatics and vaccine fanatics there, drag queen. I don't know. There's no good side really. But I think we have to have women only spaces for biological females. I think it's a basic right for women. If if you don't have that in a society, it's very misogynist, isn't it? It's a failure for women. So it's up to the normies, I'd say, the people who don't really want to get involved, aren't interested. Look, I go to West Ryde and places like that, Newington, lots of Asians, lots of Koreans, and they wouldn't be slightly interested. I think it's a rich people's thing. It's a corporate thing. Rich American liberals are pushing it, and the Antifa sort of people are pushing it here. Rich people, I think. I don't think the Koreans and the Chinese and anyone, or maybe the Indians, are remotely interested in this. And why would you be? I'm not. The thing, the homosexual propaganda and the trans propaganda is just relentless on TV. It's like they talk about Aborigines and transgenderism, but no one will talk about that. Go into any sort of little cafe or eatery or whatever, um, outside of Newtown, maybe no one's interested. People aren't interested in that sort of garbage. It's a culture war thing that's being foisted on us by corporations and the rich people and professional activists and a few Antifa sort of wacko, sort of militant um, lunatics. So I don't know. I'm going to say that you just can't really pick a side. Maybe the moderate sort of GCs, possibly, but a lot of them are bad news. A lot of them are sort of very reactionary, anti-Corbyn, Julie Bendel. I don't know, she's anti sort of sex work. But what's that got to do with that? She's a lesbian. So why are heterosexuals lectured to by a lesbian about sex work? And most of the, what do I talk sex work? I mean, mostly cam girls and OnlyFans. Now there's no sort of bodily contact with the vast majority of it. They've got to get with the program. So why are we getting lectured by lesbians on heterosexual behaviour? So why is it any of their business? Why do they want to take over and dictate what we do and what women do? So that's what I mean. There might be sort of a common sense faction with maybe self ID, but no women and grown men or biological men, M to F sort of females in women's spaces. That might be the moderate position, but it's been run by fanatics and rich people. Like Alex Jones, centimillionaire, J.K. Rowling, close to a billionaire, probably $700 million. Her thing. Linehan's a millionaire. All rich people. All and middle class people. All fervently white people mostly. Fervently promoting this transgender stuff. And corporations and American sort of Democrats, the Democratic Party is pushing it fanatically. Grapey Joe Biden. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of anything, and we need to get back to the real issues of the global capitalist oligarchy and their crimes they're committing and pushing transgenderism and garbage and racial divisions on us while getting away with absolutely terrible crimes against the people. We need to lose focus. We need to keep focus on that and not lose focus on the culture war which the elites, the global capitalist oligarchy, and their minions want us to play out.